Yes. Yes? Okay, we've got the sound. We're about to start the game. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna move a little bit off the mic. Ladies and gentlemen, today we stream you some of the strongest players in this game. Izmigul, Adrageron, Dabiz, Hotik, Apothecary, and the mysterious Vodya. Copyright something. We don't know. What does it mean? What is C? Go ahead. Since Adrageron, who is the game designer, lost the last game miserably, he will not talk to me much. He thinks that's counterproductive for him, and I think he's set to try to win, or at least to make it into top 3 in this game, so we're going to let him do that, and I'm going to entertain you with the comments in English, maybe repeating some of the news that we've given in the Russian stream. Just some, oh shit, oh crap. Okay, this is not going to be posted on YouTube, okay? We just caught a bug that we couldn't replicate in the studio before. We just got that bug. If you can see, we've got two avatars doubled on the left side, and we have 2 guys sitting in the astral plane. So we will have to restart. Can I also ask you to switch to English in the interface? So we're gonna show it in English. Sorry about that. Don't even think that this is because game designer didn't have good enough cards. Even though that could be the case, that he pushed the wrong button when he saw that the cards are not that good for him. But anyway, this is the bug that you saw. If you see this bug, send us a report, because we're trying to understand why that happened. Do we know why it happens? Still no. We fixed one source that could have possibly led to this bug, but that's not it. Oi, oi, oi.
We're not sure.
Anyway, we're now trying to restart the session, but someone did not quit that session. If you're listening to me right now, could you please exit the session? Just exit the session. Okay, we've got it. We've got all clear now. Please join the new session. That's very funny that we got hit by one of the rare bugs that we had before. To give you some background, a game for 6 players for Chaos Quest, which means that you have to play all 6 Chaos cards. Takes about 3 hours, I would say 2 hours and a half to 3 hours. We just finished 3 similar games, and they took between 2.5 to 3 point something. The score of the winner ranged from 50s to 70s, and I think the fastest game wrapped up around 90 rounds, and the longest game did about 100 and something. So pretty much the same thing. And that's regardless of the skill of the players. So we had some experienced players, we had some inexperienced players, but you end up pretty much with the same number of rounds. Yeah, some of our team members are very, very sad about the bug that broke our stream. But I guess this is what you get. I mean, that was a very rare bug, and we got it live streaming. Anyway. Is it your connection or the stream like? Well, you could. I think this is Thomas, if I'm not mistaken. Thomas, you could try watching it on YouTube. You get the link in the same tweet and video. Maybe for some people, for some connection, YouTube works better. I can send you the link right now. Oh yeah, okay, cool. I thought Twitch will tender the YouTube link and vice versa, but that doesn't work that way. Good. Now, we've got 3 players back. 3 out of 6. We're missing the bees. The bees, please come and join us. You'll have the password from Kufasa. Yeah, we're missing a Apothecary. Yes, okay, he's here. So we're missing the bees and we're missing Hotik. So some of the background is Migul is probably the most experienced, and I mean, he's participating in the community a lot. He's giving pretty accurate predictions. He predicted the winner of the previous game where Adrageron played. And that was unbelievable because early on he said Silence is going to win by playing the last Chaos card. And that's just what happened. So, you know, we can talk about random factor, we can talk about luck, and then we can talk about this Migul being right on money, predicting the winner of the game. So that pretty much means that he's got the game figured out, and the game is not so random as to prevent him from giving accurate predictions. If this would be football, he'll be winning pretty big money. So from what I understand, watching 3 games just finish, the session will be won by someone who will play the last Chaos card, giving 20 score points that cost 2,000 money and is playable on the plant. And that's something to watch for. It looks like we lost the bees, who got disconnected, and maybe, I don't know guys, what do you think? Could this be the reason for the bug? That as the game is about to start, yeah, you're disconnected at the very wrong moment when the game is being assembled and the game takes someone out. Okay, but this is the old version. This is the, okay. I don't know what to say. Oh yes, the bees is back. The bees is back and he's gonna jump into this section. Apothecary. Okay. I wish someone would explain to me what apothecary means, but I guess nicknames are very different. Apothecary. So apothecary is someone who runs a pharmacy store, I guess. Don't forget to turn off overlay. Okay. Okay, we're just waiting for the beast to boot up. He's already in there. He's already in the game. Yes, he's in the session, and we're kicking off. I hope this is going to work this time around. Yeah! So Adrageron will not talk to me about that, but okay. Oh, yes, it works. Okay, our game designer, Alexey, will not talk to me because he's going to be focused on winning this game, and he's got very, very difficult opponents in front of him, but I'm going to comment on his selections. So he got rid of a criminal card and he got 2 secret cards instead. Both of the cards are playable in jail and both of them allow him to escape the jail. So that's a pretty good situation to be in because he can easily go to jail and then escape to the court or escape to the dump and play some cards there. So that's something that I expect him to use by provoking the conflict or doing something that lands him in jail. Now, from this sort of sessions, from the sort of sessions where you have, 6 people playing for Chaos Quest, you could say that the first 30 minutes, it's not really that, you will not spot the leader in the first 30 minutes. What you'll see is you'll see people very focused on increasing their income level. So that means that everyone's going to go to the bank and everyone's going to try to play permanent cards because having permanent cards active and then having a very high income, that's what's going to make you strong enough to play expensive Chaos cards. Also, winning the elections is very important at that stage. As to jail experience, and you know that if you go to jail, the longer you spend in jail, the more experience you get. And if you go to level 4 in jail, then you start getting score points every 3 rounds that you spend in the jail. So in the last game that I saw, the last Chaos Quest, I think we didn't have a single person at the last level of the jail experience, but we had a couple of people on the 3rd level who felt already more or less comfortable sitting in jail. So I would be surprised if things are different in this game. So, and the jail, by design, remains a punishment. the jail is not a strategy to win. Some people sometimes on the forum say, you should make jail stronger, you should allow us to win more score in jail, but I don't think the concept is to make jail one of the paths to victory. Now, what we're seeing right now here is really, just the foreplay, just some fun, entertainment. The players are measuring each other. Everybody's got pretty much the basic income. I mean, it's okay, some have double the basic income, but that's not important. The malice is pretty limited, 3, 4. In a couple of games that just finished, the malice was around 30 and 40, and that's not a lot, by the way. Normally, 30 and 40, sometimes you've got 100 in custom games. So I would wait, and I would think that the first person to go with their income above 100, or the first person to open 3 active permanent cards, or the first person to have at least 10 score, that'll be the indication that someone can really make that game. It's interesting to see people making pretty fast moves. No one is really deliberating a lot on where to move and what to do. From what I'm seeing when Adrageron is playing, is he's constantly reevaluating the playing field, and he's constantly coming up with different strategies. So if you push him at any moment, he knows what to play. He knows what the other guys just played. He has now 4. I'm not sure other players are listening to this stream. I shouldn't really disclose his cards. Let me do it this way, okay? If you look at his cards right now, you'll see that 4 of them have something in common. But we're not telling others, because that's not gonna be good for a game designer. And now he's in the office, and he's going to initiate a player conflict with another player. Now, when you have a player conflict, you bet a certain amount of money, and the other person bets a certain amount of money, and then whoever pays the least is arrested. Now, Adrageron got arrested, but he doesn't really care because he can play one of the 2 cards. One card will get him escaping to the dump. The other will see him escaping to the court. And I guess he wants to do one of those. Pretty sure I even know which exactly he wants to do. We will publish the detailed stats of all the sessions for Chaos Quest at some point, so you will see how many turns and how many cards were played. It was pretty interesting to see. You saw some people playing a lot of cards and some people not being even the governor, not even once, and still showing pretty good results. So you can see different paths to the victory. Now, I would still say about the first hour, half an hour, it's just people are getting ready. Look at the income, 40, 40, 40, 40. So everyone is moving up around the same pace. No one really has too much money yet. If you look, 160 is nothing, 150 is really nothing. So look at what he's gonna do. He's gonna escape to the dump, where he plays a card, gets the score, doesn't get any money because he's not the poorest player out there, but that's pretty much it. And now, let's talk a little bit about the plans, and let's talk about a little bit about the news. So the news, the short-term news is that we're doing an update on August 11, and the update will feature 3 new cards. Our current plan is that every time we do an update for the game, we throw in 1, 2, in this case 3 new cards. None of the new cards will be permanent. None of them will be criminal. I think one of them will be maybe secret, but that's about it. We're throwing in 2 new misfortunes. We are throwing in a new single-player challenge, and a lot of user interface fixes, a lot of upgrades there, but small ones, making the window a little bit better, making this and that. In the background, we're getting ready to introduce the major feature, which will be item drops, and hopefully that happens sometime in September. We already started to work on the visuals, on the sound effects, and on the concept. There will be about 20-25 different drops once we start, and then we'll see how that goes. It'll be items that you can trade, hopefully using Steam Marketplace, because that's what we're gonna do. I mean, that's the goal. You can trade them for other items, and you can use them in the game. It'll be new emoticons, since we are done with the DLCs. We've done 3 DLCs, that's about it. It'll be stuff like alternative dice roller. So different visual things that will enhance your player experience, and that are mostly just for fun. Nothing functional, nothing that will affect your gameplay results. And following drops, we're looking to work on team mode. Team mode has been in the game conceptually at the prototype stage. Yeah, we've played in teams, and even right now you can theoretically play in teams if everybody follows the rules. The big difference for team mode from the current usual game is that you cannot do certain things with your teammate, and for certain things you have to go to your opponents. For example, if a misfortune happens to you where you have to pay someone money, then in a team game you will not be able to pay the money to your teammate, because that's a misfortune. You'll have to pay it to one of the opponent's team members. It's small stuff like that. So that's what we're gonna do, and hopefully that's not too far away from where we are right now. And that'll open a whole different new mode of playing, and maybe we'll run a tournament based on team games. Of course, we'll probably see some cases where people say, "Oh, my teammate is just stupid. I want to have someone else playing with me." But we think largely that'll be an improvement, and that'll be a new gameplay experience for a lot of us. The next thing that's on the list is the observer mode, and that's where you'll be able to join other games from the game and watch the games through the game. So not through Twitch or YouTube like right now you're seeing a streaming, but when you just go into the multiplayer lobby, look at any of the games in progress and just join them as a viewer. Then we have an offline edition, or it's no longer an edition, it's offline mode. That's coming sometime at the end of the year, maybe early next year, and that's going to be the last big feature that we're going to do. So before we do offline edition and go to GOG and make available the build that it'll be a separate build that you can play offline without the server, we're going to do all the other gameplay features. One of those will be home rules, and home rules means that you can start the game with higher income, with a different value of the bribe, different value of income, different deck. For example, what if you want to play a game where the deck has 2 copies of every Inferno card, or 4 copies of every police card? That'll be a different experience. And we would like to allow players to save their home rules and to play with their own home rules to see if any alternative rules emerge that other people will be thinking are fun to play. And then we have a big feature that's called custom decks, and that means that you'll be able to assemble your own deck following certain rules, or each card has a certain value where, for example, we say you cannot have less than 100 cards in the deck. So you cannot just pick 20 super expensive, super powerful cards. You'll have to balance the deck, and then you go and play with the other player who has a different deck. And that's the whole new level of gameplay, and that'll require quite a lot of testing and some functionality on our side. So that's a few months from now. And following that, we'll do the offline mode. At the same time, we already started very slowly discussing the next game that we're going to make, which is currently called the Renegade Mage. And that game will take us about a year maybe to go from the concept to early access stage. That's going to be mostly a single player experience with some multiplayer, but focused on replayable single player experience based on indirect control, exploration, the world that saw magic used as weapons, and the world is in ruins, and you're the mage who's looking for the elixir of youth, and then the elixir, the key to immortality, and you've got your own apprentices whom you send all over the world to explore, source different items, and then you develop your own castle, your own tower, expecting Inquisition to pay you a visit. So that game will be quite different from Gremlins. Maybe it'll be more similar to Eodor, the first game that Alexey did a few years ago. We'll see. I mean, we'll see at that stage. And that's what our game designer is going to focus once we finish all the major features, while we will produce more and more content, like new cards, new misfortunes, new single player things. Something about the single player is that once we do the custom decks, we'll be able to create different kind of single player missions, where you have a preset deck and a certain goal to, let's say, win with the current setup in 20 rounds or less. That'll be a different challenge. Now, if you have any questions right now as we stream, you can just type them in the chat box and we'll cover those. Meanwhile, let's see what happens with the game. I don't know, how long are we playing?
5 hours.
No, but yeah, 5 hours since we started the first game. But how long is your session? Could you just click on the menu? Okay, 40 minutes, 15 minutes in. 15 minutes in, we've got 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, and 4. So really nothing impressive in terms of the score. You know, who's going to be proud of scoring 4? Probably no one. But let's take a look at the income, because that's where players are getting ready to beat the others. We have 2 players with income of 60, 1 player with income of 52, and then 40, 30, and then 28. So I would say 60 is really strong. Now, that's one of the recent misfortunes that was added, the visit by the president, and used to be buggy. But thankfully we fixed, and in the next update there is a fix coming for the situations where you had 0 money and sometimes you had a glitch. So that's fixed now. In the developer version, you'll get that next week. So yeah, I mean, look at the income, and then the score doesn't really matter. But the permanent cards matter. And we have 1 player, the Bees, who has 1 permanent card, low malice, just 1, an income of 60, okay money, 200 something, and then 4 score points. I would say at exactly this moment, that player looks to be the strongest. Tying for the second spot, I would say maybe Hotik with an income of 60, a malice of 4, and 600 money, and 2 score points, but he's sitting in jail. And then we have, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, then we have Adrageron, but just has 52 income. Nothing really special there. So we're not having a clear leader at that moment. It's just 15 minutes in. I think we'll have to see in 20 or 30 minutes how that's going to develop. So if you're watching the stream right now, on the right hand side you have 2 cards that are quite different. The cards that are just being played, Banker's Benefits. That's the first, or one of the 3 first cards we ever created for the game back in 2013. And on top of that card you can see a certain gentleman with a stick. Now that card was created just a couple of months ago. So you're looking at 2 cards created in 3 years from each other, 2013 and 2016. Well, maybe 2.5 years, more like that. But yeah, it's quite a difference. It took 3 years to build this game, but we've been lucky in that the same team, largely the same team, built the product, and we have the same art style, and we have the same visual tradition, and more importantly, the same design team. Now, I don't really know what I should comment before the game really develops into sort of a tie for the leadership. But Ismigul currently has 0 money. He has no money. Well, he's got a permanent card. Is he going to the Inferno? Yeah, maybe. He's trying to provoke Adrageron into doing something with him. Maybe he's trying to provoke him to do a player conflict. I don't know. Okay, so in terms of score, we've got 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, and 4. A lot of different things. Ismigul is still provoking the other players with his emoticon. And I think he's doing that. I think the reason that he's doing that is that he's got a jail card. He's got some card that will be very helpful in jail. And so he's trying to provoke the others into sending him to jail where he can play it. Is that the case? I don't know. And now he's got the money. He's got the money. He's got the permanent card. All right. So we have 2 players communicating with the emoticons more often than the others. We'll see how different that is. I mean, I think it's some sort of a gameplay trick that they're doing. Well, we'll see. And again, if you look at the hand of the player that we follow, then you'll see that the cards are pretty interesting. They are not what you would call your usual set of cards. Just had the deck reshuffled. If you look at the indicators on the right hand side next to the cards, you have M for menu, question mark for help with the rules, I, which turns the text on all of the cards in the game, just if you want to read the rules without hovering over the cards. Then you have jail statistics, which actually I have a question. We are changing the icon for jail experience in the game. Are we also changing it on the button? Okay, we're changing it on the button too. It's gonna be square, just to make it easier to notice on smaller screens and to make it more different from the round icons of bribe and income. And now we have a pretty strong card. I mean, look at that. 6s and 5s and 4s. And the income of 66. That's pretty neat. And an open permanent card. So 3 players have each permanent card open. In the previous game, I think the maximum that we saw was 13 active permanent cards at the same time, out of a total of 18. That's pretty impressive. I mean, I never saw that happen in the game before, that 13 cards will be active. Alright, and Ismigul is trying to provoke people. So he's got 17 votes. He has the most votes. And it's 7 rounds until the election starts. So when the elections will kick in, he will be, if the situation remains like it is right now, he will get elected, he will get 1 score point, and he will become the governor. Oh, yoy. So he's got 20 votes right now. I mean, he's definitely going to win the elections if 21 votes. And if you take a look at his avatar on the left side, he's third from the top. The blue hand icon means that he has the most votes in the game. And the icon right underneath, yeah, he's most likely to win. Yes, the blue hand doesn't mean that he has the most votes. It means that if the elections happen right now, he's going to win. And the blue malice sign just below that means that he will get 3 bonus votes during the election time because he has the least malice. He removed his malice and he now has the least, 0. So he'll get 3 bonus. That'll be 24, then he'll win, and then the votes will be halved following each election, so he'll be left with 12. My personal favorite in this game, I mean, if I had to bet $10 on someone to win the game, I would start like this. I would say in top 3 players of this session, I think we will see Tabiz, Izmigul, and Adrageron. Just because I don't really have much experience with the other 3 players. Doesn't mean that they cannot beat them, it's just my personal experience. And among those 3, I'm seeing Izmigul most often whenever we do some tournaments or competitions and we have to award people. So I would say maybe Izmigul, and then maybe the Bees, and then maybe Adrageron. But at the same time, Adrageron is really a very passionate gamer. I'm not gonna distract him much this stream, so maybe he can show something as well. All right. I mean, just look at Izmigul. He's provoking and provoking and provoking other players. He's being very emotional. He's creating an image of a player who's open about his feelings. And I think he's doing it intentionally. I think he's going to fool everyone. He's going to be this, oh, I'm just a simple guy, and then boom, boom. You have 2 players arrested. 1 player on the way from jail. 1 player in the astral plane, and then 2 guys are circling the board. And let's look again at the income. So we have an income of 66.70. That's the leader. That's the Biz. That's strong. And he already has 900 money. And then we get 42, 30, 25, and 70. So I would say 2 players with the strongest income right now are the Biz and Hotic. Now, Izmigul shared his opinion about trying to measure the current standing of the players in a game like this. And for every 10 extra income, he proposes to throw in 4 extra score. So based on this, we'll say that the lowest income is 25. So the Biz is 45 over that. So that gives him 16 extra score points. So he'll be having 21. So he's the leader, really, right now. He's clearly the leader. He's the player with the highest income plus the current score. Now, watching this stream with me are my 2 dogs, but not sure they have anything to say right now. Oi, oi, you lost 2 score. That's a lot. If you have only 5, that's a lot. Now, 3 previous sessions of Chaos Quest finished at about 100 rounds each, between 90 something and 100 something. So looking at this right now, we're at round 17. Could say that we're about 20% there. And not a single chaos card has been played, but these things happen very fast once the players accumulate the money. And right now, there's not a big benefit into doing that on your own. I'm pretty sure the last chaos card that will be played will be the most powerful card that costs you 2,000 to play and gives you 20 score and is playable on the plant. And that can change the results. So let's say we'll have someone at 50 and someone at 31, and still if that person plays that chaos cards, then they'll have 51 and they'll be above everyone else. So you would not know the winner of the game until the last card has been played. Money, money, money. That's what the game right now is about. We have one person with above 1,000 money. That's the bees. And we have 60 as the highest income. We have two people with 60 and one person with 56, which is kind of impressive. I mean, 3 players obviously are having a lot of income right now. We still have not a lot of permanent cards open, just 4. I think in the previous game we had someone with 6 active permanent cards at the same time, so that's dangerous. And right now, unless someone has 3, wouldn't really think that's very challenging or very dangerous. In terms of score, we have the leader at 10, and then we have Hodzik at 7. So these 2 guys are the guys to watch for really. Like, both have the money, both have very high income at 60, both have permanent cards open, and both have pretty big score. I mean, if you compare it to powerful cards that give you 10 or 20, it's not a lot. But on its own, if you compare, let's say, 0 and 10, well, that's a big difference. It's interesting how when you watch inexperienced players, like me, then people don't really pay bribes at the police spot. People are like, I'll get lucky. Or if I don't, then I'll find something to do in the jail. And if you look at how experienced players are doing that, then they're all mostly paying their bribes. They're considering the chances and they're saying, I'd better pay 20 money than have 1/6 of the chance of going to the jail, which will disrupt my plans, unless they do it intentionally. Whoa, my God. So Ismigul has 666 money. That's 666. And yes, he shows you the relevant emoticon. We thought of creating an achievement for this, like have your income 220 or 110 like the voltage or 666, but it's just random. I mean, it's just something that happens. It's not that's something that you work on. So we gave up on that. Pretty high tempo here, I would say. Look, people are moving and they already, when their turn comes around, they already know what they want to do. No one is looking at the game and saying, oh, okay, what do I do now? What cards do I play? Where do I go? Now, everyone knows what they want. Everyone has a plan or two. Plan A and Plan B. By the way, in the next update, we're going to add tips and tricks contributed by the players to the game. So you'll be reading certain things that will hopefully give you a better understanding of how others play. And now, the Beast has a lot of money already. And Ismigul has a lot of money as well, 900. Doesn't have a lot of score, but quite some money. So My guess would be that Izmigul is going to visit the plant and play a strong card that costs you 600 or 700. We'll see if that happens. I mean, but that'll be my guess. That's the obvious decision. I'm not sure he's watching the stream right now. He's sending a lot of messaging. Okay, that was 7 score, and that puts Hotik in the lead with 14 score, 1 active permanent card, and an income of 70. If we think of how Izmigul is proposing to calculate the winners, then that makes Hotik right now the hottest player in this game. And look at Izmigul, he's checking his cards. Oh my goodness, that was a lot. That was a good hit. That was 4 cards just out. Let me just give some information in the chat. So whom did we have for the winners? I think we had the Blanca for sure. All right, back here. Now, what do we have? We have 14, 9, 5, 4, 3, and 0. And I kind of feel sorry for the guy with 0 because he has 0 money, 0 score, and an income of 14. An income of 14 in a game where someone has an income of 70, that's a huge disadvantage, and I would think probably that guy is not going to win. Now, among the leaders here, let's look at the income. So Hotik right now looks like the strongest contender for the victory, even though we know that he could be leading all the way up to the last rounds, and then someone plays the card for 20 score, and they jump the queue and they become number 1, and that person is at number 2. But we'll see. I mean, that's there. Right now I would say Hotik is very strong. The Bees is number 2. Number 3 is probably Adrageron, and maybe number 4 is Izmigul. Izmigul has 1,000. And what Izmigul will do, he will probably go to the plant to play some expensive card. Let's see. It only takes 1, 2, 3. No! What? What? Okay, he's attacking the bees. What is he gonna do? What is the misfortune? That's not a strong misfortune. That's nothing, you know? Well. What I don't get is why Izmigul, having 1,000, doesn't play some strong card on the plant. Maybe he doesn't have any. Maybe he went to that spot to replenish his hand, because he spent 1 card to get there. He played another card, so that's 2 gone. So he's hoping that one of the 2 new cards will be for the plant. I'm not sure he's heading for the Inferno, guys. I mean, oop, and he lost 100. There are some cards in the Inferno that are quite powerful, but I'm not sure Why is he showing this icon? I don't understand his communication, really. So Hotik is sitting on the misfortune spot. He's a clear leader. He's got the score, he's got the income, and he's got a bit of money. Okay, so that's a Adrageron. That's a pretty good play. He's up to 9, so we have 2 players at 9. And overall, the recap is, could you show me how long do you guys play? Like half an hour? Yeah, 40 minutes. Okay, 40 minutes. 40 minutes in, we have 14, 9, 9, 4, 3, and 0. Well, 0, it's all pretty clear what happens with 0 guy. But 9, 9, and 14 is pretty strong. And now look at Izmigul. That's what he was waiting for. A permanent card, 10 score points, and an income of 52. And at the same time, he's the governor. That's a strong position to be in. And he has 0 malice. And he's going to win the elections if the elections happen right now. I don't think we played any chaos cards. Could you just flip quickly once you have a chance? Nah. None of the cards are played, but here's the thing. In the previous game, I think we spent an hour and a half without any card played. And then boom, boom, 2 were gone like that. And then I think the other 3 were played within 40 minutes or so. And that was a pretty good jostling around for playing the last one, the most expensive. All right, so we got 14, 10, 9, 9, 3, and 0. And looking at the income, right now, the most dangerous player on the field is Adrageron with an income of 90. That's a lot. If he stops on the income spot, that's 180 right there. And pretty sure once someone has the money right now, they're going to go and try to play one of the expensive chaos cards. So who's going to get arrested? Interesting. Why would he... Okay, so he arrested Hotik because he thinks that Hotik is more dangerous in the current position with 14 score and 70 income than Adrageron with a score of 9 but an income of 90. But according to Izmigul, Adrageron should be ahead of Hotik in the level of danger because you take an extra 10 of income and you say this is worth 4 score points. Interesting. So Hotik is now level 3 in the jail. That's a lot. You know, could you just do... Oh, it's your turn. Once you finish the turn, let's then look at the jail experience. Woohoo! That's some money. Okay, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3. So that makes Hotik even more powerful. What is the beast going to do in the Inferno? He's got 1,000 money. He's gonna play something. No! Oi, oi. Oi, oi. That was pretty awesome. 22 score. And he's flipping as a fairy. That's classy. That's classy. So we have, I don't really know even whom to bet my money on. We have the bees with 22 score, very strong player. We have Hotik, who's playing wonderfully with 14, but an income of 70. And then we have Adrageron with the highest income among the others, but only 9 score. A really interesting question is, what the heck is happening with Izmigul? First he had 666 in the money department. Now he has 333. Izmigul should be showing some strong results here. But he's not. Is that intentional? Is he trying to build something in the back of the whole fight? and then he's going to come in and do something. I don't really know. I don't really know. We'll have to see. That's a part of the intrigue. And I would venture that Adrageron is intentionally not raking up the score. Because right now, you know, you look at the Beast 22, you look at Hotik 14, you attack those two guys. You don't really touch Adrageron because he's got a measly 9. He's even below Izmigul. But if you look at his income, that's something. All right. That's another interesting player. I mean, he's got almost no money. So he's gonna dig through the junk and then go upstairs. He found 10 money, that's nothing. Will he play something here? Yeah, 300. How about the roll? Another 100? 150. That's pretty good. That's impressive. So he went from almost no money to half a thousand. He's got 2 malice, which is pretty low. He's got a pretty basic income though. He's got only 40. 40 is nothing. And he's paying his bribes. So that means he's got some card to play, or maybe he just doesn't like that. This is an English language stream. We had the Russian language stream just 3 hours ago for a session with the game designer. You will see it on YouTube probably tomorrow. And that stream, the Russian speaking stream, took 3 hours to play. And right now we're in the second round of the Cast Quest. And we have 2 games unfolding at the same time. We have Adrageron, Apothecary, Hotik, Izmigul, Dabis, and Voda playing in one session. And then we've got Monica, Viske. Well, Whiskey was replaced by someone else, I think, because Whiskey is from Japan and the time zone didn't work out. And then we have Trigger, Fergon, Hikimori, and Hidera Helix. Hidera Helix is coming from Ukraine, and she was pretty supportive in the first game. Now, going back to the board, we get 22, 14, 10. Oi, oi, oi. The Beast just made some money there. Okay. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's easier to say right now who is not going to win, most likely, than to say who is going to win, because there are 4 very strong players right there. And okay. 14 votes. 14 votes in total. But he has to go and to catch them in either in the astral plane or in the chaos, Inferno. 3 players are kind of running around the bank. And as discussed before, in a game like that, that's going to last for a couple of hours, or I would say for 100 turns, bank is really important. Everyone is just going up there and increasing their income, working on their income, because income is something that's going to propel you to the top. Now, 3 players in the bank, 2 players in the court. That's getting crowded, and 1 player is just leaving the jail. So if you're, 3 previous games, they all finished in 90 to 100 and few rounds. So if we are assuming that this game will also finish in 100 rounds, then we're 30% there. A third of the game has been played. And you can see that the Beast has made 22 score. So one of the games that won in the previous round, that game was won by someone who had 53 score. So I would say the Beast is halfway there then. Yep, we're streaming on Twitch and YouTube, and you can watch us wherever you want. Let me send you the link. Yep. All right, all right. Looking at the income, we have the first player breaking through 100. That's Adrageron. And breaking through 100, that's pretty good. That's 200 every time he hit the income spot. And he's got 800 money, so unless inflation happens right now, we get 33 misfortunes in the deck. So that could happen. He's in a good position. See, he's going to hit the bank one more time, probably increase his income once more, and then he is a very short walk away from the plant where he can play some strong cards. But I'm still very curious about what Izmigul is going to do. He's got a couple of permanent cards. He has some score, 13, but I feel that he could be stronger. And I feel like he's holding back something. He's maybe Izmigul, having played hundreds of games, he knows that for the first hour and a half he should be lying low. Maybe that's what he's doing right now. He's trying to show everyone that he's an idiot. And then when everybody's like, okay, we don't care about Izmigul, he's just going to go and play that card for 20 score. We'll see. Actually, right now I'm going to make a prediction that Izmigul will try to win, or actually win this game, by playing the last Chaos card for 2,000 money that is going to give him 20 score. I think that's his strategy. His strategy would be to be 10 score points behind the leader, and then to play a 20 score card, becoming number one instantly. I don't know if SOS was relevant to what I said, or it's just something that happens in the game. I hope the other players are not watching stream and not looking at Adrageron's cards, because that'll put him at disadvantage. And that wouldn't be fair, guys. So what happens now? Oh. He got hit by kidnapping. And looking at the income, look, we have 60, 60, 60, 62, and then 25 on the bottom and 112 at the upside. It's pretty interesting. Players in the middle sticking together and one player on the top being a little bit ahead. He's arrested. Yeah. 9 rounds until elections begin. And these elections look likely to be won by Izmigul, the guy who's currently the governor already. Anyway. All right, just as a reference, I just took a peek at the other game that's happening right now in parallel, the second Chaos Quest session. And these guys are at 27th round, so they're about 6 rounds behind these guys, but they started a little bit later. And the highest score in that session is 7. So that is probably the testament to the difference in skill, that in one session you get 22 and 14 and 13 and then 9 and 8, and in the other session you get 7. I will see what happens when these guys hit 33 in the round counter. Now, I think we still have about 10 minutes to talk about the news, so we can talk about what's coming. An update is coming on August 11th. And the art book is pushed to August 18th because the art book is coming out in 12 different languages. While some of these languages are not very important, so for example, commercially, what's important is English, Chinese, Japanese, Russian, maybe German, maybe French. I would say even French over German. we sign up to support 12 languages, so we're gonna do 12. And we're gonna ship the art book in Ukrainian and Czech and Polish and Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese. And that takes a while because you get about 100 pages in our book. We've got 30,000 characters. That's a few short stories about the development of the game and how we were looking for the visual style and so on and so on. And it takes time to be translated. So we'll lay it out in about a week or two, and I think we'll ship on the 18th of August. It's a digital art book. It's specifically designed to be viewed on a computer screen, so it's not vertical, it's a horizontal layout. And at the same day when we launch that, we're gonna do a tournament, a big tournament for everyone, accessible through the game. And at the same time, we'll run a sale, and at the same time, we'll do something else. We will launch what's called the Governor's Edition, which will be a bundle of the main game and all the DLCs and extras. And if you don't have one of those but have something else, then you can just buy the difference, just pay for the difference. So that hopefully will help people who have, let's say, 2 DLCs out of 3 or 4 DLCs out of 5. And the discount on that Governor's Edition will be 20%. So you can pick up what you're missing and get at the same time 20% off. And that's just going to be a bundle that's going to exist forever. Just as a way to say, look, if you want to collect the whole thing, then you can save some money by buying it together. What else? Then we go to Gamescom. We go to Gamescom in Cologne in about a couple of weeks. I leave in a week actually because I have to drive with all the equipment and set up the whole thing. And we'll be there showing the game, talking a little bit about the next game from the team. And mostly hanging out with people we work with, translators, other developers. Our communication guy, Antonio, will be there as well, flying in from Madrid. Looking back at the board, still the same thing. 2 people in jail. Income, the top income is still above 100. And Izmigul is now number 2, interestingly. Last time I checked, he was number 3, number 4. Now he's sharing the second place with Hotik, and Hotik suffered a little bit. So if we compare Izmigul and Hotik right now, they have the same score. Izmigul has 2 permanents versus 0 of Hotik. He has an income of 62 against the income of 50. And he has a malice of 2 against the malice of 9. So I would say that the current standing is the Bees, followed by Izmigul, maybe challenged by Adrageron, and then you have Hotik, and then you have Apothecary, and then you have Vodin. Interesting. I think this is showing how Izmigul is outplaying everyone in the shadows. I mean, look at his communication. He's like, I'm just an innocent guy. I just got this by chance. A couple people in jail. You know what I like looking at this board is I like that everyone is using the avatars that they prefer. And we were making those. We were not sure if people will be using them, if this will make a lot of difference. But I'm looking at the selection and I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing right now. You got Adrageron as the skeleton banker sitting in the jail, and that's pretty good imagery. All right, we're almost 1 hour in. we can definitely say that the Bees right now is probably competing for the victory with Adrageron at this moment, and that things will change once we see some Chaos Guards play. 38 rounds, that's about 40% into the game. I'm just waiting for a very aggressive mid-game once everyone has the money to go for it. So this window that you're seeing on your screens, that's changing on August 11. It's becoming vertically scrollable. It will be taller, better suited for choosing the specific misfortune that you're looking for. That's one of the small things that we want to fix. There is a number of others similar to that. And in the background, we have a discussion on the forums about making some of the sounds louder. We discussed that with our sound designer, and she's all for that. She just needs some specs. And I've got a bunch of emails regarding Gamescom. But that's for tomorrow. Okay, going back to the game. Going back to the game, we have a couple of players with almost 1,000 money. And that's Adrageron and the Bees. That's a considerable amount, unless they're going to be hit with inflation, which will halve the amount. And as predicted by me, Izmigul is now finally playing in full force. Just look at him. Just a few rounds ago, he was number 3, number 4, little guy lost on the playing field, and now he's a strong contender. He's number 2. He has pretty low malice, as low as the Beast at 3, and as low as Adrageron at 3. And this is, by the way, an interesting thing. You get 40 rounds in the game, and these 3 players, they all have a malice of 3. In that situation, I would have a malice of 43 or 53. That's why I'm not playing. But an income of 100. There's an income of 90 with Hotik. Hotik is not giving up, huh? Is he? And then Izmigul keeps the governorship. He's currently the governor, and he stands to win in a tie with the Bees and Adrageron. Now, this is still the version of the game before the next update, so if they are all tied, random will determine the winner. After the next update on August 11, the winner will be determined by whoever has the least malice. In their case, it'll be all the same anyway, so it'll be a random draw. Get player conflict, 694 versus 384. Why would they do that? Oh, because he wants to go to jail. That's why he wants to do that. Okay. Fair enough. So he's in jail now. And what will he do there? He's gonna play a card probably. Will he go to the court? I don't know. We'll see. Well, well, well. So, just 2 rounds before the elections, Adrageron puts himself in a favorite position with 16 votes. And that's way ahead of Izmigul, who was the previous contender, or Dabiz, for that matter, who has 9 votes. But more interesting will be to see what's going to happen with the Patikari in jail. Oi oi, Dabiz with 1,000 goes to the plan, plays the card for 6, so he's at 27. Him at 27 makes him 9 points ahead of the second place, which is Izmigul. Okay, predictably, Apatikari is escaping into the dump, where he plays a card for 4, so he's got 15 score points right now. We have some news about the other session currently in progress, where the destroyer almost got built. Someone was lacking 200, and then inflation happened and half the money disappeared. Yeah, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. But we still haven't seen any chaos cards played. Heavy. I think 1? No? 0? Okay, 0 in the other session with Monica, and 1 card played in the current session. 1 card after 1 hour of playing and 40 rounds. 40% of the game is done, and only 1 card, you see? So the Chaos Quest is built this way, that the longer you play, the more powerful the players, and then they're just going to play those cards one after another. No one is rushing to sacrifice anything. No. Interesting. The elections are about to happen. And I'm pretty sure Adrageron is going to win the elections. Oh my goodness. How did that happen? Oh my goodness. That's something. I was certain Adrageron's gonna win. He was positioning himself for that, and then boom. Just a small difference. And now you have him as the governor, him as the leader in score, with 500 money, very low malice, and an income of 60. At least another player has an income of 70, and then 90, and then 102. What's really interesting for me is that most experienced players are preferring to pay the bribes. I wouldn't do that. I mean, I'll take a risk, I'll take a chance, but I guess that a part of the strategy is that you don't want anything to affect you. Yeah, I agree with the chat, guys. The Beast is a very strong player, and it's just a pleasure to watch him play, making full use of all the features. But I would say he currently pursues the strategy of being the leader, wearing the yellow shirt, and just going ahead and basically telling other players, you know, if you can, catch me. But Izmigul is a more devious player, I would say. Pretty sure he could have scored more, but he prefers to keep in the shadows. He prefers to be number 2, number 3. And my understanding is that he's trying to be the guy who will play the 20 scorecard. If he would be playing that card right now, then he'll jump to 38 and he'll finish first. And now we have the auction. Well. Everyone, I mean, some people have pretty similar amounts of money. I don't know how Adrageron got that number. But he won! Woo! That was a pretty good bet. No one else bet 300. I don't understand that logic, but he probably understands. Okay, we're seeing Voida trying to climb out of the gap. And he's now at 7, and the leader is at 28. So that's 4 times difference. That's a lot. That's a lot to cover. Oi. That was a pretty mean card to play in the court. And that's one of the recent cards, by the way. I think we added that about a couple months ago. That was definitely added after the launch of the game. And that's a good thing for us to see, that the cards that we throw into the game a few months after the launch are becoming a pretty powerful part of the deck. I would say essential part of the deck. And going back to that, 2 big features that are somewhat familiar are the feature where you will be able to assemble your own deck and the feature where you'll be able to set up your own home rules. So home rules is easier. It's basically changing the starting positions. So higher income or whatever income you want, different bribes, different permanent cards being open, and then different number of different cards in the deck, but from the card deck. The custom decks will be where players can assemble their own deck following certain rules, where each card will have certain value, and then going to battle each with their own decks. So I'll have my deck and you'll have your deck. Yeah, and whoever builds the strongest deck or more balanced deck or the deck that reflects the setup of the specific session will win, and that'll be a whole new level of the gameplay. And that's the last thing we want to do before we're going to do the offline functionality for the game and launch a GOG. Now, 26, 18, 17, 14, 13, and 7. I don't really know. I mean, if the Beast continues to play like he plays right now, then he just may win if he's able to play one of the strong Chaos cards. I don't know. Izmigul has 3 permanent cards open. Petikari has 3 permanent cards open, and both of them have pretty much the same score. Both of them have okay malice, not very low but not very high, pretty much the same incomes. I would say their profiles look similar. Could you open the jail stats, please? Yep. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. All right. Kind of lost track of Hotik down there. I don't know what he's doing there. He's got an income of 100, that's a lot. He's got 1 permanent card open. He's got a malice of 10, which is maybe a bit too high. He's got 390 money, that makes him the poorest player in the game. Interesting, the poorest player in the game has 390. That's a lot. Wow. So Apetikari is now number 2 in the game. And oh my goodness, that was a pretty good attack. So the Bees is number 1, Apetikari is number 2. Izmigul is number 3, 2 permanent cards. Ah, that's a tough decision. That's a tough decision. What do you do? Oh, one of my favorite misfortunes, a visit by the president. So who will lose to score? Probably Apaticari. He can only bet 171. That's unusual. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Why would Ismigul consciously lose 2 score points? I don't know. I think that's the sort of a game of underdog that he's playing. He's trying to show us that he doesn't have much in the game, that he's not someone to be afraid of. All right, back to the game, guys. And that was my dog contributing to this stream. 26, 22. Well, I don't really know. We got an hour and 10 minutes into the game. We got almost half of the game. Well, if that game is going to take 100 rounds, then we're halfway there. We're at 48th round. And still one card being played. And no clear winner. I would say the game can change dramatically right now if Apaticari were to play a chaos card. But I just don't see how he can play it. I'm seeing 3 permanent cards, but 0 money, 1 vote, pretty high malice, not much chance to play that card. I'm looking at Ismigul, who has almost 1,000 money. So he can play something, but he's not in the right position. Well, he can go to the Inferno if he wanted to. And then I'm looking at Adrageron. His income went down to 84. Used to be 112. Doesn't really have much money, doesn't have much votes, doesn't have low malice, so nothing to envy. The Beast is okay, he's holding up there, but you know, 10 votes is good. Yeah, sure. Malice 2 is good. Sure. Well, that's pretty much it. I hope that Voda, the guy with the income of 10, poor guy, he can come back. He's got a malice of 24. I don't think he can climb up with a malice of 24. It's just too much. Even though he's got 10 votes. So you see, that's something, you just saw something that does really happen in shorter games. People are spending good money to increase their income in the bank. They're paying 50 money to get their income up by 10. Normally in a regular game you wouldn't do that. Or you would do it early on, but then you're like, am I going to get that back? Because to get that back you have to pass the income spot at least 5 times or stop there 2.5 times. And sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you're like, nah, I'm going to do that. Everyone is upstairs. Everyone is up north, except for one. And we've got player conflict. Oh my god, one of those guys has 0 money, so that's not a conflict really. That's more like a kick in the butt. And he's being sent to jail. That's the disadvantage of having no money. If you have no money, you're an easy target. You're the fuck. Who was attacked?
He.
Yeah, Apothecary was attacked. Yeah.
Attacker.
He was the attacker.
Yeah.
Oh, so he wants to go to jail. Could you show us the jail stats? Ah, he doesn't have much. I mean, he's just one.
He have cards.
Yeah, he's gonna play some card. Okay, so let's wait a few more turns and we'll see what sort of cards he has there. Well, he can escape to the dump and maybe play some free card there. He can escape to the court, but I don't see why he would run away to the court in such a way. No. That's an interesting card. That's one of the recent additions. $112 just for stopping there. Okay, so he had a card. He had the card that gave him money and votes sitting in the jail. Well, that means that his other cards are not very strong either. Back to the game. Nothing changed much. I mean, 22, 26, 19. Yeah, 19 and 22 is okay. It's pretty close. The Beast is collecting money in any way he can. We'll see if he's gonna take some bribes. Because maybe he's trying to get 600 to go to the plant and play some card there. Okay, I mean that's it for comparison. You see, just Votage just stopped on the income spot and he got 42. Izmigul stopped on the same spot, he got 112. That's the difference. That's the power that you got. And look at that, 180. 180 just by stopping on the spot. So who's gonna go to jail? Mr. Governor. Mr. Governor goes to jail so that he cannot play a strong card on the plant. Now, maybe Mr. Governor will escape to the dump and play something there. I don't know. Or maybe he's going to go to the Inferno. But anyway, that was a good move by Adrageron to prevent the Bees from playing something big in the plant. So 2 leaders, the Bees and the Apothecary, they're both sitting in the jail. Adrageron and Izmigul are out there. Now, Izmigul has almost 1,000. And he's 5 steps away from the plant. So that means that maybe he will play something right there. Let's see if he makes any moves in the next round. Okay, the beast is not taking any bribes. That means that he's not desperate for money. That's another pretty good income, almost 100 just by stopping. All right, Ismagul, will you go to the plant? Come on. Come on, man, just go there. You don't have 1,000, but you have almost 1,000. No? No. And he's paying the bribe. Okay, so he's paying the bribe. That means, I think that means that he's waiting for the right card to come through. That he did not have a planned card, and he just used that stuff to replenish his deck. We're streaming now for 6 hours, including the first game and this game. We're gonna cut that into 2 different videos on YouTube. One is with Russian commentary, one is with English. It's just the first thing that we're doing in this format. We'll see if he can improve it. We'll see if he can put some web cameras to show you our wonderful faces later on. Maybe we can show you our dogs. Got a couple of dogs here with us. One dog is streaming with me and the other is with Monica. Okay, so actually one dog gave up. One dog just fell asleep next to me and the other dog is still watching the stream. Hey guys, how are we doing on the second game?
One chaos card.
One chaos card play. Well, same story here. How many rounds?
10, 12, 13,
44 rounds.
44 rounds, we've got 54. And what is the highest score that you have?
13.
13, we've got 26, so double that from the bees. Well, my prediction still is that, statistically speaking, this game should drop at 100 rounds. And now one of the dogs just woke up and she's puzzled as to where she is. And who's a friend? Yes. Come on, take a walk. Take a walk. Take a walk on the bright side. Okay. I would say that statistically we're past half of the game. So right now we should be able to tell the winners from the losers. We get 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I mean, we have 5 players with strong incomes. We have 1 player with 3 permanent cards. 3! But nothing close to the previous game where we had 13 open at the same time. Right now we just have 5 open at the same time. Everyone is kind of rich. I mean, hundreds. Yeah. So, I don't really know. 5 strong players. 5 strong players, 2 very strong players. And my personal favorite to look for is Ismagul because I think he's pretty, like, you know, he's pretty malicious. He's planning things behind the others. And he's gonna plan. He's probably going to save his energy for the end game. And meanwhile, we just got a comment that we should change something with the music. So I'm gonna talk to our sound designer and see if she agrees. Meanwhile, I wanted to share with you the news that we have 100,000 wish lists for the game as of yesterday. And we have incredibly great sales in China. Hopefully, a server is accessible for most of the guys from Singapore. Yeah, we hope there's more games being played in Singapore compared to the current workload. Even though I think a couple of days ago was a unique situation where we had more players playing on Singapore than on Amsterdam. Didn't happen for a long time. Overall, we got 42 and a half, more than that, copies of the game sold. Got about 10,000 people playing at least once a month. Still about 2,000 sessions, 2,500 sessions every day. And we got about 7,000 DLCs, a bit more between all of them sold. Most popular being the uninvited guests, and then automated competitors and astral gamblers going very close to each other. Still, competitors is leading a little bit, slightly. And what do we have now? Well, I mean, look, right now it's around 57. Let's see what happens when it's around 75. Yeah, we all feel sorry for Ismagul, sure. I mean, I don't. Maybe you do. Maybe that's the whole point of Ismagul. You know, communicating and saying that he's just a poor guy. But wouldn't say so. So 57 rounds. We probably have just 40, 50 rounds left until the end of the game. '26. Oi, oi, oi. Okay, let's see. The Bees has 26 score. And he goes to jail for that. That's something that happens to the leader very often. Yeah, he's gonna cry and say that he's very sad, but we're not buying that. That's the guy with 26 score. 4 rounds until the next elections. And the current governor, the Bees, is set to win those elections just as well. He has 7 votes. Yeah, 7 votes. He'll get 3 extras, so he'll have a total of 10. Yeah, that's pretty far for everyone else. Maybe Hotik can beat him if he scores 3 votes shortly. Well, I don't get that. I mean, just a few rounds ago, Ismagul was on the very same spot, being checked by the police, and he paid. And he had at that time around 900 money. Right now, he's got 578, and he does not pay. Why? What is the difference? Is that because right now he just hopes to play something for 500? I don't really know. Come on, guys, someone should play Chaos card now. Okay, goes to the courtyard. Let's get 500 money. Oi, oi. Woo! That was very, very well done. He did it just before the elections. He's got 12 votes right now. And look at that. A choice of 3 cards to play. 4 score, 3 score, or 6 score. I would go for 6, but he didn't. And who's being attacked? Oi, oi. All right, so look at that. 26, 23, 22, 18, 18, and 13. And the difference between the first and the last is getting smaller. Because if you see, just a while ago, we had the bees having 4 times the score of Voda, but now Voda has just half the score of the bees. And Ismigul goes to jail. Poor guy. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Everyone knows Ismigul is a very strong player, so probably people will attack him just in case, just for being Ismigul. And just as a reminder, we've got the grand finals set up for this weekend with the winners of all the 5 Chaos Quest games. And we will stream that, so we'll have probably someone from our side, being number 6, joining the game just to stream. We have the Blanca, Breakmind, we have Silence. And then we'll have the winner of this game and the winner of the game where Monica is currently playing. Monica, do you have any leaders right now? Like, who's winning?
Fergon 66 and Juglons Regia 3 is the lead, but they both have 13.
Okay, 2 guys with 13 points, Fergon 66 and the other one, the replacement player. Okay, it's interesting. But look at this, the Beast has 1.2 thousand money. He's the governor, and he's 1 move away from the Inferno, if he wanted to go there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What? Nothing to play, yeah. Oi, oi. Okay. Now we're about what? We're about 2 hours into this stream with this game, maybe. Could you check quickly how long do we play? Okay, 1 hour and a half. 1 hour. I thought we were like 2 hours. 1 hour and a half. 60 rounds. That means that in 3 hours we'll have 120, and we should stop by 100. Everyone has the money, everyone has the means. Look at the permanent cards. We're up to 6 permanent cards open at the same time. Hotik wins the governorship. And he's got an income of 100. And he's standing just in front of the bank, and the office, and the plant. So probably he will go to the bank, then he'll visit the office, then he'll go to the plant, maybe play something there. And Ismigul, incredibly, he's not number 1, he's not number 2, he's not number 3, he's not number 4, he's number 5. Could it be that by playing the fake victim, he actually puts himself at such a disadvantage that he loses, and he doesn't have the time and opportunity to climb out of the hole that he was jumping in? I don't know. We'll see. That's the intrigue. We know that he's a master of the comebacks. He is the master of the genre. That was a good move on the case of Voda. And all the other players right now, they completely disregard the 6th player, the player with the least score and least income. So he has some opportunity to grow up in the dark. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of money lost. A lot. Why, he got back some of that? Didn't have a good roll on treasure, just 25. Probably regrets going there right now. Where is he going? I don't know. No. Oh, okay, maybe he goes to the bank now? Oh. So that move, to me, means that he's going to play maybe sacrifice? Maybe he has an artifact, the dangerous artifact that gives him 5 score, and then he's going to go to the Inferno and play that. I don't know. But definitely I was thinking that he's going to go up to the bank. Oh, 1 hour 40 minutes into the game. Yes, he goes to the Inferno. Is it going to be a sacrifice? No. He just destroyed a lot of permanent cards and got 100 for each. So made a ton of money, undercut the others, but that's pretty much it. Why not the sacrifice? I mean, come on, why not? Okay, probably because sacrifice is less powerful. And then he would be sticking out with 27 score. I don't have the patience for long games like that. I would rush, I would be like the beast, you know. I would try to win every score point I can, and then everyone else will probably bash me, and then I'll end up losing pretty fast. You have to be like Gizmigul. I mean, look, I wasn't looking, and he's now number 4. He used to be number 5. Now he's number 4. Well, he's got no money. He's got no money, honey. All right. I'm going to go to Steam right now and check a game developed by some of our friends, which is called, this is Police. Yeah, this is the Police. Very positive reviews, 95%. Woo! Almost 300 reviews, that's a lot. I only wish they had more languages. They get German, English, and Russian. They should have had French, maybe Italian, maybe Spanish. Very beautiful art style. Great game, but the German translation is still a joke, says someone. Yeah, that's something we advocate a lot. People asking for French translation, Brazilian Portuguese. I don't know what I'll do with Chinese though. Like, does it make sense to localize into Chinese? Probably yes. Probably yes. So they're good. I mean, I'm happy for them. They're on track to do, I don't know, 40, 50, maybe 100,000 copies. That's going to be good. They're probably at 20K right now, so should do 100. Yeah. After the first big sale. Now, back to our game. The Bees has been only losing score in the last few rounds. He used to be 26. He is 24 now. The other guys used to be 16. They're 22 now. So we have 24, 22, 22, 20, 20, and 18. Oh my God, look at Voda. Everyone has an income of about 100, and Voda has an income of 20. Everybody has malice less than 10. Voda has a malice of 30. But Voda has 20 score. That's pretty good. And we still have one card playing only? Jesus. Maybe the other players don't know how to turn them on. Guys, there's a button. There is a button in the lower right corner of the screen. You hit it, you see chaos cards, you see the cost, you go, you play them. Because right now, 2 of my dogs are sleeping. Both of them are asleep. And you know, I know that number 1 gets Kentucky Road Zero. I love that game, but maybe, you know, maybe you can buy it yourself. Can we just, you know, agree that we rob that right now? Even though a game for 2 for chaos cards took about 130 rounds. And a game for 6 previously took between 90 and 100 rounds. We're now at round 67, so theoretically we should be 30 rounds away from the end of the game. Pretty sure it's going to be the same. I mean, it's a pretty well-balanced game. It's probably one of the best balanced games I've ever worked on or have played. So if 3 games rob between 90 and 100, then this game should rob between 90 and 110, for sure. Yeah, the players are all very experienced and they will probably stop each other from finishing the game, but I don't think they can affect the nature of the game that much. Could you pop up the jail screen, please? 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. All right. So, again, something we discussed before on the Russian stream is that some people say, oh, you know, jail is such a great strategy, a path to victory. You know, I can probably win the game just by sitting in the jail and doing that and that. Not really. Not really. 24, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Wow. I mean, talk about balancing. We have the same thing with the card game as well. You play for a couple of hours and everyone is within 1 point of each other. Even though people play differently, everybody has their own style, but balancing goes a long way of changing how the game is played. And now... you! I don't know where he wants to go. He's got no money. He's got no money to invest. He wants to go to the treasure, most likely. Amazing. Ismigul, the guy with a lot of experience. A very strong player, has 19 score and 100 money. While Voda, who was clearly outsider for the first 30 rounds, is now 1 point above him with no money. Why would you send him to jail? He's not dangerous, just for fun. Okay.
He must know issues. I have no choice.
Yeah. Okay. And Monica is having fun right there. Are you guys close to finishing the game?
Not at all.
Same.
Just one card.
One card played. What's the high score? 13, 14?
26.
36?
26.
26! Oh my god, you're above us!
Hey.
So, Monica's game, which features 6 players and started later than ours, and has less experienced players in general, now has the high score of 26, and we have a high score of 24, because Mr. Dabiz, who went to be number 1 from early on, he keeps getting bashed. He was 26, and now instead of being 36, he's 24. And that's something that happens in this game, is that if you get too far ahead of the others, then they're going to come for you. Yep, they're going to come for you. And in this game, we only have now 3 permanent cards open. In the previous game, we had 13. That's totally different style.
We have 9.
You have 9 is good. 9 is good. Monica's game has 9, you know. 9 is good. 13 is great. I would love to see all 18 cards open at the same time. I'm not sure that's possible. I mean, yeah, okay, it should be possible technically, but not sure I'll ever see that. Well, the good news is that Milo was doing the Russian stream. I got 14 kilograms of dog food delivered to the office, so my dogs are not hungry. And still, the Biz has 1.4 thousand. Why is he going to the Inferno? He doesn't really have any cards to play there.
Oh.
Sacrifice? No.
Can play dangerous.
Dangerous artifact, yeah, okay. I mean, you mean the regular card, but not something super special. So dangerous artifact will give him 5, put him at 29, yeah.
You with them. Give it.
So some people are watching us for the 3rd hour, or maybe for the 4th, or for the 6th. We should be giving prizes right now, you know, when we have just a few people left watching it real time. We should be giving it out. So if any of you guys have a favorite DLC that you want from Gremlins, just let me know.
Just change cards. You won't play anything.
Hey guys, so Dubbies was not really looking to play any big card. He just wanted to refresh his hand. It's good. Oh, it's really hard to choose him in between the 3 DLCs of the soundtrack. I'll tell you, soundtrack is the best. Well, I mean it. I mean, if you guys in the chat box have some DLC that you were missing, now is the time. while we're waiting for the beast to break through with his hoard of money, or someone else run ahead of him. And now we have Hotik. So Hotik is really getting there.
It has acceleration.
Yeah. Look, I mean, he's got almost 1,000. He's got 120 income. He's got a permanent card open. And the beast doesn't have any permanents. Alright, so Lord Skeleton desires Astral Gamblers. Is it okay if I'll just post the code right here in the chat box? Because I'm not sure I got you on Steam. Huh? Ah! Let me see if I can send you a direct message. Okay, I think I've got you on Steam. Okay, I'm gonna try to send you a message on Steam and then see how that goes. Yeah, I can send you a message. Okay, alright, I'm gonna go and find that code for you. Astral Gamblers, that's... okay, that's the last DLC with all the global effects and everything. Gonna look into the big pile of the codes I got here. Grab one for you. Done. Great, okay, that thing is done. And now we have some discussions going on about the format of the rank games. Well, that's a different thing. And now back to the game. Back to the game, and what do we have there? Well, oh my goodness, I wasn't looking. I wasn't really looking. What happened? How did you get that?
Secret project.
Ah. Okay, so Adrageron is with 33 score. That puts a big target on his back as the strongest player right there. He just played another card, so he's got 35. And finally, look, the Beast is getting worried. I'm pretty sure he's getting worried about that. Just like Ismigul. I don't know what happened to Ismigul. Ismigul, my friend, what happened with you? Okay, some input from Qfasa. The Beast is going for the Destroyer, and I think he'll get it, not this Migul. Okay, the Beast needs 2,000 to do that. He needs to play that in the Inferno. He's missing 400, and then he needs to jump there and do that. Izmigul has nothing. He's got like 300 money, one permanent card, and that's pretty much it. Thanks to you, Lord Skeleton. Hope you enjoy the game. We're gonna do more streaming with shorter games and different format, but what we're doing right now is the kind of a marathon, triathlon, you know, playing for Chaos cards. You have to use everything, you have to know the game really well. Found a couple of bugs while we were playing. That was so funny when we launched that stream and we had the bug that we couldn't find. We finally got it. But I think we understand now that this is connected to someone getting disconnected at launch. Are there any news about the female Gremlin DLC? Well, currently we don't want to do any DLCs at all anymore. The reason for that being that we got a bunch of big features to chase before we started pre-production on the second game. And what? And we really want to do a second game, and everyone has big plans for that. Having said that, we will have drops, items that come to players as they play, and could be that a part of those drops will be something, you know, something that we want. I don't know. It's up to the game designer sitting next to me. And right now, the Beast has 2,000 money. He's 5 spots away from the plant. And if he can get there in the next round, and if he's not arrested by Hotik, if he's not prevented from doing anything right there, and let's see what Hotik is going to do. Jesus. So Qfasa was right on the money. But Adrageron can still prevent, maybe he can prevent the Beast from scoring 20, because if the Beast scores 20, he's gonna have 44. That'll be too much. Everyone wants at this point for Adrageron to stop the Beast, and he's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it. You. It's not a big thing, but now at least the Beast has to go through the misfortune spot, and that's assisting the investigation. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo, woo-hoo. And he lost the money, and everyone is happy, and he lost the money, and he cannot play it right now. But can he find the missing 130? I don't know. Thanks, Lord Skeleton. It's gonna be another game loosely connected to the Door world that our game designer created a while ago. It's gonna be much darker, more bloody, and more single-player focused. And hopefully you'll get a chance to play it in early access before the end of the next year. Oh, we'll see. I mean, right now we want to finish all the big stuff in Gremlins, and then we're gonna move onward, but keep throwing new content into Gremlins. We'll see how that goes. I mean, having 2 games in active production is impossible, but we can support one and work on the other. That's pretty sure. Now, the Beast needs 220 to build his huge card. Jeez. 35, 27, 24, 22, 21, 19. 5 rounds until elections. 5 rounds until elections. Who's gonna win? Ismagul with 24 votes. There's no question about that. 24 votes is a lot. And he's trying to get as much money as he can. But I don't know. I mean, I feel right now, maybe I'll be wrong, but right now at round 77, I feel like Ismagul, the fantastic strategic player Ismagul, he outsmarted himself in this company of other players. He played victim for too long. He didn't show his true skill, and now he's with 20, and the leader is with 35. And the poor guy, the beast, is getting hit and hit and hit, and still he has 2,000 something, so he can theoretically play the destroyer. Oh yo, and he's again 5 spots away. 5 spots away from reaching the plant. He's being searched. He lost 3 cards, but he's still standing. And losing 3 cards means he got 3 new cards. So in theory, he could have... Ah, okay, he lost 300 gold. That's good, that's good. So he's got less chance of playing the destroyer. So right now, like the last few rounds are focused on not letting the beast play the destroyer, and hopefully someone plays the inflation. Seven hours of streaming. Yoo! It's almost 11 p.m. where we are right now. But we said we're gonna do the Chaos Quest, and we would get that done. Well, okay, there is a suggestion for the card coming up. I'm gonna discuss that with the designer right here. What do you think about a misfortune that kills one of the spots on your hand until you visit a specific spot? So you have 6 cards, you get a misfortune, 1 spot is blocked, and you have to go to the Inferno to open up the 6 cards again. I can tell by the face he doesn't like it.
Mechanics.
Okay, it's gonna complicate the mechanics, and it's yeah, or like for a few turns you cannot access a certain card. I don't know. It's an interesting idea. I made some interesting suggestions as well with different mechanics, but
Card will be named Super Glue.
Super glue, yeah. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. It'll be called Bloody Hands. Like everything you touch is criminal. Every card turns criminal. If you're exposed to, you're arrested. Okay, so we lost 1 player, Voda, who was on the 6th place, but he put up a great fight. He was there. I mean, he went from having 7 points to having 20-something points, and from, being quite... Oh my goodness. Adrageron has 42 score points. So we were at 79th turn, and that means that theoretically we should be 20 points, 20 rounds from finishing the game. And Kufas is making a pretty good joke. He says, if we introduce this misfortune, and you have that misfortune 6 times, then you cannot even move when the game is over. Good point, Kifas, a good point. And once this is over, we should put up on the forums the list of all the winners and the basic stats, like how many rounds and what kind of score. Just so people know that Chaos Quest is a 3-hour game for about 100 rounds. And it's a lot of fun with your friends and some beer. Well, we're not drinking beer. And it's 2nd game in a row. Oh, we got that tea still. Oi, oi. What the hell was that? Wow. Okay, so second point, second spade. How many chaos cards were played? 2, I think? No? Could you check? Jesus Christ, just one. Just one, but...
No, 2.
Okay, 2 in the game of Monica. That goes in parallel to us. 1 in this game. No, Kifasa. 2 in Monica's game, 1 here. But the thing is, despite 3 people being in jail right now, okay, now 2. The thing is, everyone is pretty rich. Just look at the 1.7, 800, 800, 400, 100. And I'm pretty sure they'll finish fast. Yes, I agree with you. We're going to see a very bloody end game. Yeah, but you see, I mean, in this kind of game, no one is rushing to play chaos cards. Everyone is like, yeah, you know, let me get my income up. Look at the income, 120, 114, 108, 90, 130. That's amazing. So everyone is in a position to be rich quickly, and then we'll see how that goes. Adrageron is, yeah, he's ahead, but we just saw a game similar to this, and someone played the card for 20 score and just went all the way up there and just won. So we'll see. 80 rounds. The quickest chaos card game we had today wrapped in 93 rounds, I think. 93 or 97. I think 93, like definitely below 100. So we could be 15 rounds from the end of the game. And I have to say, I'm no longer putting my hopes up on Izmigul. Not really. Nah. I mean, look at this guy. He keeps getting arrested. Could you check the jail stats for me? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4.
We have a 5.
5?
We have a 5, yeah. The last 2.
Wow. And in Monica's game, there is someone with level 5.
Yeah.
Well, Lord Skeleton, that's a pretty good idea. I'm not sure. I mean, okay, people will see it unless that's the last round. And that's a pretty good effect. I'm just thinking if we could tie it up to something else. One of the effects that I like on the playing field that we experimented with is when everything is just becoming a shadow of red. So we have to think when that could happen, but that's a pretty good thing to watch. It's pretty scary. Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're about what, 2 hours into the game? We're about 2 hours into the game. The previous games took about 2.5 to 3.1 hours. So we're like on the last third of the game, and I don't know where to put my money. I mean, look, the beast has 32 and 1,000 money. 42, 33, 32, 26, 21, and 19. And Vode is back, And he could mess up the game for sure. I mean, he's got the money. How are you, Monica? Still 2 cards played?
Yeah.
Still 2 cards played in Monica's game. Okay. What is the highest score that someone has?
33.
33. We've got 41. We got 41. It's you. So you could be the developer who actually wins the game. Just for your information, guys, we had 3 games with Adrageron playing with 5 people, Andrei playing with 5 other people, and Monica playing with 5 other people. Andrei and Adrageron lost miserably. So it looks like Monica is the best player of the bunch so far. We'll see what happens right now with Adrageron. And right now we're close to 11 p.m. and my dogs are looking at me like I'm totally crazy. And one of them is just coming up to me right now and saying, "What the heck are you doing there for 7 hours with all those people?" Well, I can tell you, I mean, we're playing for Chaos Quests. All right. We have 83 rounds. Pretty sure we're gonna wrap soon. Actually, I'm gonna make a prediction and say that within 30 minutes, this game will be over. That's what I'm thinking. I give this game 30 more minutes and then it's gonna be done. Meanwhile, someone just complained about an unfair game in an unranked match, but yeah, man, come on, guys.
Clock.
Oh, what happened while I wasn't looking? Jesus Christ. Holy moly, 45, Adrageron is no longer in the lead. So 45, 40, 32, 31, 20, and 18. And I cannot believe my eyes when I'm looking at Izmigul and I'm looking like, is Izmigul number 1? No. Is Izmigul number 2? Nope. Is Izmigul number 3? Nope. Is Izmigul number 4? Nope. Where is Izmigul? At the same time, I understand that he's got a different time zone. He probably has something like 1 in the morning right now. So that's a pretty big commitment. Yeah. $40 and $45, and the beast has no money but 2 permanent cards, an income of 90. And how do you know that the clock is working? Oh, we'll do something, right, with this. Okay. What you cannot see right now, ladies and gentlemen, is that there is the clock of Armageddon has been activated, and every 6 rounds, people lose 1 score point each. That's a lot of score to lose in a 6-player game.
Какие-то глюки. Да я вообще не понял, что произошло, если честно. Ну ладно. За меня что гаишник походил, слишком долго.
Yeah. Someone goes to jail. Who goes to jail? The person with the most money or the person with the most permanent cards? Oh, why not the bees? Why would you do that?
Так тут, сейчас через неприятность.
He's okay, he's got a misfortune coming. Okay. Okay. But as I told you, I think within half an hour this game will be over. And that's 28 minutes now, and the game will be over. 84 rounds. I don't think this game will last more than 110 rounds. I'm pretty sure it's going to be over by 105 or something like this. Get 2 chaos cards played. 2? 1. 2. 1! Jesus. So I'm going to ask Kufasa if he thinks who's going to win. So let's say, who is going to win? I think it will be the Bees followed by Adrageron on second place. Okay, Kufas agrees. Does that mean that that is likely to happen? I don't really know. I mean, we share the same opinion, but I don't really know if that's gonna happen.
Измегул in the last.
Oh my god, I didn't think I'll live to see that, but Izmigul is number 6. Number 6 with an income of 110. But he's got a lot of money. But what he's going to do with all that money? He's in the wrong place with all that money. With all that money, he should be closer to the plant.
Oh.
And
Oh.
what happened?
Инфляция.
Jesus.
Это знаю, чувствую, слишком хорошо.
But an important notice, guys, is that
Учите её в таких матчах.
we're playing today for 7 hours now. That's the second Chaos Quest that we're doing. And so far, the game did not break. And I'm really, I would be concerned if it would break, because playing for 3 hours in the same session, that's a lot of investment. You're investing your time, 6 people are investing their time into this. And real happy that at least the game is stable. At least we're moving, step by step, improving interface, doing this and that, but we're keeping the game working. So 86 rounds, ladies and gentlemen, 45, 40, 31, 30, 27, and 20. Yeah, I don't know what Izmigul can do at that point. He's closer to the casino than to any other locations. Who's the favorite character of each developer? I don't really know. I don't like the bankers, they're the greedy bastards. I don't like the gamblers, they're just too lighthearted.
I'm the collector.
Yours, Monica's favorite is the collector. For you? The dam? Nah.
I have no.
Well, our game designer doesn't have a favorite character, which is befitting his position, He should be absolutely neutral for everything, I don't like politicians, he's too corrupt. I don't like even the pauper. I pity the guy, but I don't like the thief. I don't like the secret. Okay, Andrew's favorite is secret agent. My favorite is, I don't really know. Maybe the guy in the office, but not the basic guy. But yeah, maybe the guy from one of the DLCs. I don't know. We're experiencing some lags, so someone in this session is having a troubles connecting. Hope that doesn't spill into something bigger. 87 rounds. And Adrageron lost a couple of points, so he's now down to 38. Or as the bees would say, he's in the 30s, I don't know how much he's got. He's in the 30s. He's not in the 40s. Got one player in the 40s. And 3 players in the 30s, 2 players in the 20s. If he had the chance, would we visit the Clockwork Town? I'm not sure. I'll probably visit the world of the next game with the mutants and jungles, rivers, and all that exploration magic. Ooh. Okay, so come on, guys, wrap this up. We're at 11 p.m. right now. And I'm seeing an amazing income here. I'm seeing a Paticari with an income of 190. That's, oh my God, that's 380 every time he stops on the income spot. And he's got 5 permanent cards open. So altogether, we are now at 10 permanent cards active right now. That's 3 less than we had in the previous game, but that's still pretty impressive. That means that more than...
You have 12.
You've got 12 right now. Oh, great. Okay, Monica's game's got 12. We've got 10. So that means more than half of all the permanent cards, and there's a total of 18, more than half are open, activated. Poor Ismagul. He was probably trying to do fast and fair, go to the astral plane and play it there. So he got searched at the right time. And he's now at number 6.
He can play Chaos Card in astral plane.
Yeah. He could go there and play that, sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I will take my 50 from
Yeah. Poor guy. So Qfasa says it's the first time he sees Collector playing properly. So that's a Paticari, he's the Collector, he's got 5 permanent cards, he's got an income of 190. Alright.
second Chaos Card.
He's still going to play Chaos. No. Yes? Yes. Well, congratulations, he's no longer last. But as a testament to the game's balancing, we now have 3 players with a score of 32. So we got 45, followed by 37, 32, 32, 32, and 26. I don't really know who's going to watch the stream at this point, I mean in the recording, because that's going to be a long way off. But if you're watching us in the recording, we are expecting this game to wrap up very shortly, but you can probably already see from the YouTube slider if that's correct or not, or if there's another hour. I hope not. I gave it until 105, 106 rounds. So we got about 10 rounds left or so. Monica, we've got 2 Chaos cards played.
3.
Oh, you got 3. Monica's got 3. That's good. So how are we on the money? 500, 400, 200, 200, 300, 600. Not much. Not much, really. But 47 score. Well, someone had 53 and someone had 70 something last time. Well, we still have the chaos cards to play. I don't really know. We're still alive, but okay. Our game designer is not happy. He forgot about something and he didn't calculate the results of his actions. Do you want to change the interface to reflect that? It happened second time during this play.
Maybe. We must put here some.
Yeah, we should, maybe, I mean, it happened to me also, like, you don't really notice the result of the card, you think you're gonna go into the location and play a certain card, but then the money is confiscated from you, so maybe we have to do something to work around that. I don't know how to show it. Like a big minus sign on the location or something?
It's the same way like income or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
pop up with
Yeah.
the amount
You put your mouse over the location, just shows you you're gonna
just
lose
have
minus
this
something.
permanent icon.
Yeah. So 30, 47, 37, 35, 32, 32, 26. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna change now.
Посмотреть.
Ну ты же собираешься ходить, когда должен ходить.
Ну так и дошел, я понял это не раньше. Но у меня не спокойный план. Слишком поздно сообразил.
500, 500, 500, 500, 2, and 150. 10 rounds until elections. So I think this is the point in the game of Gremlins where people just kind of wish it was over. Or people basically say, you know what? How are we doing, guys, in the second thing?
32, 34, 3.
32, 34, okay. Okay, so what do we have now? 47 and 40. Well, 47 and 40 is closer than 47 and 37, but still not that close. But we still have 4 chaos cards to be played. And at that point, we should put somewhere on the screen Kids, don't try this at home. Could you show the chaos cards, please? Just hold on there for a second. Yeah, good, thanks. So we got 4 cards left to play. We got pretty rich players out there. 47, 40, 36, 35, 32, 26. How many cards do we plan to add before we move to the next game? Well, we plan to keep adding 1 or 2 cards pretty much every month for the next year, at least. That's something that we can pretty easily do. And that's something that does not distract us too much from the pre-production of the next game. So it's just something the game designer has to come up with. And then we're implementing that, drawing the card, putting it into the game, testing, and then launching. So that's something that we're going to keep doing for a while. The same with new misfortunes, same probably with new single-player content. I don't know if we'll keep doing this as frequently following the release of the offline edition. That's something that remains to be seen. Because once we have the offline edition, then it'll be basically 2 games in the same package. And we'll have to think how we can add the card to both versions without too much work. Third chaos card just played. Woohoo! And we have 45, 40, 36, 35, 33, and 32. Oh my god. Card number 4 has been played. We got 2 cards left. So you see what is happening. The end game is very, very quick. We just had 2 chaos cards played within the same round. We are at round 94. The magic number is 100. So between now and let's say round 105, within the next 10 rounds, we'll see this game finished. Could you show the games that remain? Yeah. So sacrifice doesn't cost you anything, and then 2,000 for the destroyer in the plant. Okay, who can play the sacrifice at this point? Pretty much everyone? We have 11 active permanent cards. Will this be... Yeah. Okay. Chaos card number 5 has been played. I mean, just look at that. You know, for 90 rounds, we have a couple of cards played. And 1 card just in the first 70 rounds. And then within the next couple of rounds, we had 3 chaos cards played. Amazing. Amazing. And now someone has to save 2,000 to play the remaining chaos card. So let's just... let's just imagine certain things. If the beast plays that card, he wins by a large margin. If Adrageron plays that card, he wins by a large margin. If Apothecary plays that, and he has 1,500 already, he wins also by a large margin. If Izmigul plays that card, he wins as well. So basically, whoever plays that card wins the game. So let me tell you that straight. Whoever wins the last chaos card, whoever plays the last chaos cards in the plan for 2,000 money, that person wins. And then everyone else is sharing second place, third place, and so on.
О, тикнули часы. Я и забыл прям. Тобі за будильником зловно.
So what you heard happen was the Armageddon clock that took away 1 score point from everyone except from the owner.
Я смотрю, что творит.
Oh my goodness.
Кто не обращал внимания, он уже...
So 2 players are now tied for 38. Yeah, and Void, I mean, look at Void. He's got 62 malice. Wow.
5 лайков.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what we're seeing right now is the final rounds of a game that took almost 3 hours, 2.5 hours. And that fits the profile of the previous 3 Chaos Quests. And based on that, we can generalize that a Chaos Quest for 6 players takes about 2.5, 3 hours to play. You can expect about 100 rounds. And the score of the winner will range from 50 to 70 plus. Now we have that stat. It's pretty interesting.
Взял взятки прямо перед воздаянием, которое получил. Ну куда он его поставил? Придется сейчас сажать еще добить.
Okay, so who's got the money right now? No one?
Ну из Мигуса надо.
200, 300, 400, 100, 200, no one. So we will see the winner in probably 5 to 10 turns, depending on who makes the money right now. And from that sense, if you're jailed, then you're prevented from making money, and that's what you need to do right now. That's the only thing you need to do. Be close to the plant and make money. You think, so Q-Fasa thinks that Izmigul can make it after all, being the governor and taking money as bribes. I don't know. If he makes it, he wins. 55 score. And that was the original thinking. But I'm not sure that is happening. I'm not sure. I mean, like he's got 15 votes, okay? That means that he wants to ensure that he's going to be the governor. He's going to keep picking up the bribes at this point. The bribes are not that big. You know, 40, 50, 50, 80, nah, not that big. We'll see. Will the art for the cars be released as a standalone DLC? Yes, the art book is coming August 18th. Same time as we're going to do a sale and the governor's edition and some other stuff. 99 rounds. It's almost 100. How is Monica doing, guys? 3 cards left. Okay. What's the highest score? 30 something?
37.
37. Okay, 37, that's the highest score. Well, we've got 44 as the highest. Oh! So while I wasn't watching, Mr. The Bees lost the leadership. Андрей, смотри, видишь, как написано «Добис», буква А с Б сливается прям здесь. Не пойму почему. Кернинг?
Ну, да, но не что.
Looking at the income, 120, 126, 110, 190, 150, and 34. 34. Interestingly, the guy with the income of 190 has the same score, 38, as the guy with the income of 34, just 34. I have to say, Vodya is playing real nice. I don't know what happened to Ismagul. I mean, maybe it's not the real Ismagul. Maybe it's like the double. It's Ismagul 2. Maybe it's a robot. It's a chat. But
Всего-то 7 очков отрыв от лидера. Нормально.
yeah, I mean, yeah, but look at this right now. Okay, so right now everyone has a chance to win this game. Everyone. Probably Vodya is not in the best position, sitting in jail with 0 money. But, you know, you've got only 18. I would say for the second place, okay, there's different chances. For the third place, there's different chances. But for the first place, everyone is equal. Everyone is in the same boat. 3 people jailed. That's good.
Охотик к тому же
That's what you did.
западло кидает из тюремки, по-моему.
Can we take a look at the jail stats? Okay, number 4. Soon he'll be number 5. You know, I think what we should do is we should take the recording of this game and make it into a trailer and say, Charlie Oscar releases a 3-hour trailer showing you all the features of the game. So there is a question in the chat box. It's WTF question mark. I don't really know. Amazing. So Apothecary right now looks like the person most likely to save 2,000 money to play that. Could you show chaos cards just for people who are off and on? Yeah. So you see we get 1 card left to play. So whoever scores 2,000 has the highest chance. And right now, that's the collector. That's Mr. Apothecary. He's got a long way to go, but around the playing field, he's got some money to score, but I'm pretty sure if he's not stopped right now, he could be quite likely to win the game. And then the Bees and Adrageron are tied for score, 43-43. Pretty similar income. I'll just save this video as a trailer and just say Gremlins Incorporated is a short little tiny board game that you can play between, like on your lunch break. All you need is just 6 friends with very long lunch break. Meanwhile, in Monica's game, 4 chaos cards have been played, 2 are left. We have 102 rounds. 102 rounds, that should be close to winning. Come on, guy, that should be close to winning. $43-43. Gee, I mean, look at the balancing of the game, right? 43-43. 38-37, 37-37! God damn, I mean, look at that. The difference between the winner and the loser is just 6 score points at the end of 100 rounds. People are using different strategies, having different number of permanent cards, having different malice, different thing. So basically, each is pursuing their own road to victory. Why is Ismagul saying SOS?
Because activate this.
Okay. And the Bees is making 240 every time he stops on the income spot. That's a lot. Okay, 1.1. 1.1 for Ismagul, and he's sitting in the bank. Woohoo! And Apothecary has 1.1 as well, and his income increased to 200. Amazing. Just amazing. He's got no votes. He's got no way of making money other than making another circle. We see some supporters of Ismagul joining the chat room. But, I mean, at that point, I'm not sure. He's got 1,000, but... Okay, we got 2 players with over 1,000 money. 2 of them. Three people in the bank. The bank is a very popular destination in a game like that, in a long game like that. And the Armageddon clock is still ticking? So every 6 rounds, everyone is losing 1.
Everyone but the Bees.
Yeah. So somehow Ismagul is no longer number 6. He is now sharing 6th, 5th, and 4th place. It's the money game right now. It's the money game. Really looking at the players trying to score 2,000 and make it safely to the plan. That's the whole thing right now. Unless you're competing for the 2nd spot. If you're competing for the 2nd spot, then you're just going around playing small and medium cards. I think we're giving away Kentucky Road 0 to the winner of this game, and for the 2nd place we're giving away, I think, Gremlins and all the DLCs and something, and then just the game for the 3rd place or something like this. So if you've got your target as the 2nd place, then right now that's a pretty intense competition for the 2nd place, but Pretty sure 3 players, at least 3 players, they're competing for number 1.
Я вернулся в родную кімнату.
Could you open the jail stats? I'm just trying to see if everyone has a lot. 1, 2, 2, 2, 4, and 4. Okay, we got 2 players level 4 in jail. They're gonna start making score there at level 5. Izmikul has got 40. Look at that. 43, 42, 40, 38, 37, 37. 2 players with 1,000. 2 players in jail.
На первое место.
Oh, wow. So Izmigul is now suddenly, quote unquote, number 1.
А аптекаря уже 1400.
After 106 rounds, Izmigul reveals his true face and assumes the position of leader, because at that point he doesn't care. He wants to secure second spot. An apothecary has 1.4 thousand. Also, he's in the right location. He's close to the bank, he's close to the office. He's got no votes to sell though. He's just gonna go. Yeah, he's just gonna go into the bank. That's where you wanna go. What's going on?
Я говорю, у меня план.
Okay.
Если, конечно, получится.
So our I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm just gonna say that maybe we'll see the end of the game fairly soon.
О. Ну нет, я думал, Армагеддон взорвали ускоритель бомбы. А, так это Допис и взрывал, собственно. Конечно, все Армагеддон.
Okay, we got 49 score points. $210 income. That's pretty impressive. $49, $44, $42, $38, $37, $37. Interesting.
Тикнули часы.
Yeah, the clock has struck. That's it. Yeah. So the clock basically plays into the bee's hand. We're gonna soon go into the 8th hour of streaming. Okay, 800, 400, 1.1, 1.1,
Ух ты, как хорошо.
1.5. Okay, 1.5, he's in the courthouse. He still has the treasure, he's got the income spot and the bank. Hey Hedera, ciao. We're close to the third hour of playing. We got 108 rounds. Monica's game has got a couple of cards left to play. We got one card left to play. And all of the game, like the last 100 rounds, Ismigul was in the last spot. And now he's close to being number one. And some people are losing a lot of nerves due to inflation. Okay, we got the supporters of Apothecary showing up in the chat. Oh, he's got 36. I mean, we got 3 people with 36. 36 is a pretty healthy temperature, you know, 36.6. Get 3 very healthy gremlins, and then 41, 43, and 49. Amazingly, the bees remained the leader of this game for, I don't know, like 80%. This is the statistics that we should probably show at some point, like how many rounds you were number one in the game. That'll be interesting, that you held the leadership for, I don't know, 80% of all turns. Can we get some Ukrainian language in the chat room? I'm not qualified enough to understand what the heck the guys are talking about. And looking at this from the outside, it's amazing. Like the incomes of 140, 130, 120, 210, 150, and 30. The player with the most money is in jail. That's the good news. He just escaped. That's the bad news. No. We got one chaos card left. Could you, once you're done with this, could you, yeah. So we got one chaos card left, and Monica has 2. Mm-hmm. 49, 43, 41. Okay, interesting. Well, I've lost on my own prediction. My prediction was that we're going to finish about 10 minutes ago. If you could see one of my dogs right now, you will understand how I feel. So the dog fell asleep lying next to the wall with 4 legs up the wall. It's basically saying, I don't care what you guys are doing, I'm just taking it off. Look at that. I mean, just look at what's going to happen right now. Just look at that. I would love to watch a web camera of the bee's face. And Ismigul, who's normally the first to show some emotion, he was silent. And he got sent to jail. That was pretty cool. Like 3 guys say, yeah, Ismigul is keeping silent, and he's jailed because he's the governor. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So if Hotik, Vodya, or Apothecary play the remaining chaos card, they will only about catch up with Adrageron. The risk is with this Migul and the Bees. Because if these guys play that card, then that's a disaster for our player. 8 hours of streaming. Oh my god. I think we should stream in Chinese at some point. 你好，你好，你好吗？ You're planning to add more chaos cards in the future. Well, the very short answer is no. The longer answer is that we were discussing adding not chaos cards, but the cards of order, which would be the opposite, which would be, the complete opposite of the chaos cards. Maybe 6 of them. But we never went far with that discussion. And I think we'll get back to the discussion once we are close to finishing most of the big features. Because once we finish the features of Gremlins, we're going to focus on content, like new cards that we can add. And then game designer will go into the pre-production on the new game, and we're going to focus on bringing out more content. So I don't know. I mean, things are open. Not chaos cards. There are 6 chaos cards, and that's it. But more cards with similar mechanics could happen. Don't promise, but could happen.
Что-то лагает.
What I forgot is that we should repeat game over. Why is he saying game over? Because the Pizzicati has 2,000. Well, we'll see. Maybe he can be stopped. Like that.
Я был бы против шансов, да.
But if he plays, who's going to win the game?
Я бы выиграл больше.
Because you get the more money. You get more money. Okay. Oh, it's going to be Vodya.
Ты не печатаешь.
Come on, quickly. No? What's the benefit of losing it?
There is no, you lose 2.
Why didn't you put all your money? Like, why didn't you put more than Vodya could ever put?
Потому что я тогда не сыграл. У меня есть карта, которая 3 дает.
Okay.
Я бы отбил, даже если бы потерял.
Okay. Well, guys, it's interesting. Like 36, 36, and 56. That's a potential tie if one of the 36 plays the last chaos card. The Bees is very strong. He's at 50. He's got a bit of money too. Okay, my second dog came to me and is asking what the hell is going on. I don't know, Daisy. We're playing, I don't think dogs are doing this sort of thing, Probably just play and then say, okay, time to go to sleep. Gonna go real soon. Elections begin. Who's gonna win? Vodya. Woo! Congratulations, Mr. Governor. Okay. Okay. He's attacking his Migul. Why he's not attacking you? Doesn't care?
Don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting observation. So the governor has the highest malice, and that's 71. That sort of thing can happen. So Apothecary is still keeping the dream alive. He's making money. Woo! Okay, Apothecary has 2,000 again. A lot of stuff is happening all of a sudden right now. Like boom, boom, boom.
Oops.
Whoa! Whoa! that was very unexpected. I mean, look at that. 54. So 56, 54, 50, 43, 39, 36. I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, I am from a different league, guys, you know. Wow. Whoa. Game's getting real aggressive here. I wonder if anyone tested the game to reflect 3 digits of score, like 100.
They fit. Check it. They should fit.
Because these guys are doing like, you know, 58, 59 now, 53. Okay, who's got the money? Who's got the Apothecary has got the money, but he plays that card. He's gonna be number 2. Maybe that's what he wants. That's what I don't understand. Why would he attack him? He doesn't understand it himself.
Потому что это карма.
Okay.
Почему Apothecary играет хаос карт?
Ну, такие надо. Его
If he plays the chaos card right now,
Думал про ту сторону.
Она на заводе играет. Мне надо беречь аптеку. Провести его аккуратно.
so the current plan of Adrageron is to escort Apothecary to the plant and suggest that he plays the card. It's like, would you like to be, and he will be what, like number 2, right? Yeah, he'll be number 2. It's like, would you like to win a whole set of Gremlins Inc., including all the DLCs and everything else? Just go and play it right there. Okay, 47. That's pretty good.
Дошел.
Okay, yeah, he's gonna finish the game. He's gonna watch this happen in real time. He's coming in, and he's playing it. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa!
Да.
Успеть сделать.
Jesus.
Делать.
Только заработать.
1, 2, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 players. Okay, 4 turns left to go. 4 turns left to go. So right now, right this moment, we have first place, second place, third place.
Мне уже мочкой.
Okay, people are attacking. Adrageron, 57, 55. Okay, look at that, racketeering. Oh yeah, that's very classy. That's very classy. Look at that. Adrageron is running all the way there.
Кому тут думать-то? Ну, давайте добьем.
So we got Adrageron number 1, we got Apothecary number 2, Hotik number 3, the Bees number 4. Ismigul number 5 and Vodin number 6. That's amazing. I mean, look at that beast. He was leading most of the game. He was leading, he was taking hits, but he was cleaning up. He was really leading until the very last few rounds, until the, I don't know, last 20 rounds, 30 rounds. Oh my goodness, just look at the results. Okay, so we're gonna wrap this stream. Thanks a lot for being with us. The first game, the first Chaos Quest was totally lost by Adrageron, and then for the second round, I made a point of not distracting him. And let's see, times your hand was shown to others. So the Beast was exposed 16 times, and that's because he kept leading the game most of the way. Now, card combinations, not a lot there. Total score earned, 79-79. So Hotik is in a tie there. Rounds in the lead by score. The P is all hands down. Total lost. Hotik was the hardest hit person there. Malice. Woohoo! 82. Okay. Elections, let's see. Wow! 2020, 51. Ismigul is the governor forever, in that sense. Player conflicts. I don't know if this will show much. Nah, not a lot. Jail. Okay. Sentenced. 37. Again, this is the Beast because the Beast kept being attacked by every other player following him. And then misfortunes. Again, we're seeing the Beast being attacked almost as... Why would Voda be having some... Oh, because he had the highest malice, so he kept getting the karmic ones. Travel. Interesting. 393 locations visited. So 3 players out of 6 never even went to the astral plane. Yeah, predictably. Okay. And then the most interesting one. Poor Voda. Poor Voda, he had 12 ones and 13 sixes, by the way. So he was enjoying all the different things. And communication. Hotik. Oh, Ismigul is leading the way with 143 Marikans shot. And 2 people probably own Global Effects DLC. No, but I think the Beast also gets that. Messages sent. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. That was a really nice game. We're gonna wrap up the results somewhere on the forums tomorrow morning and maybe tonight. And the grand final game will happen over the weekend. We already know 4 participants of that game, and the 5th will be determined very soon in the game where Monica is playing. Monica, how many Chaos cards do you have left? 2. She still has 2 cards left. So we're gonna go and help her get through that game, and then we'll see you later. Thanks a lot for watching. See you.